strike on Clown House. They hate everyone and everything. Their lives are miserable.
They would have seen it as a win. A lot of people would have been blinking on the fact that she's a person of color.
What's wrong with these people? It's a Friday night, and they.
So this is like a perfect room. Like Amir just goes all day long. So this is gonna be my new thing. It's just like recording Amir's room.
What do they talk about all day?
They talk about today. They were talking about how intelligent Che Guevara was and how great of a hero he was. He was so courageous.
Who?
Che Guevara.
Oh my god.
See, they're fucking terrorists. They're communist terrorists. These people. They're like one step away from like actually. And I don't know. It's just crazy listening to this shit because usually I get kicked right away, but you know. Even Narges.
What's wrong with these people?
Fucking Narges is like, oh, I'm getting married, I am engaged. Bitch, you're on here all day long talking about the Jews too. Like, what's wrong with you? They almost blew up Narges' aunt in an elite area of Tehran.
I'm not here talking about Jews all day. Have you realized how little time I'm spending on Clubhouse in the past few months?
No.
I mean, you still see me a lot of days, but I just connect like 20 minutes and I leave. Like, I don't like it. No, yesterday I spent more time because I wanted to see what was happening about the whole thing.
Yeah,
But I also
this chick
spend
is
more
just
time
crazy.
into these like little secret rooms
Yes.
where it's just like very few people
Intimacy.
and no one is yelling or anything. It's like more civil.
Listen to this crazy bitch. She's hot though.
People were coming very xenophobic because again, it's COVID, things happen, inflation. Of course, you're gonna blame the administration in power currently.
Are you blocked from Amir's rooms?
It was a perfect storm. He came in and said, "I'm gonna give you X, Y, Z," and he ran.
I mean, she looks like a man dressed up as a woman, but she's still pretty hot.
Same shit. I'm gonna tell you why. Who's to blame? It's excessive immigration. That's all.
No, just she
This is
physically
that,
looks
this,
hot.
I'm gonna stop it. He pandered.
It's not like, you know,
What the Americans
I want
wanted
to start a
to
business
do.
with her because I think
It
she's
was a
intelligent.
perfect storm. It helped him.
Pikachu predicted that the strike on Iran like 4 days ago. Nice job, Pikachu. You really know you got your Iran dar. Yeah, it was probably pretty obvious, but Pikachu was the only one on here who I heard say, I'm pretty sure they're going to strike the nuke facility really soon. Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all, Pikachu! We are recording Amir's rooms. I've been recording Amir's room all day long and driving them crazy because everybody who comes into my other rooms, I kick them, and then they go right back into Amir's room and they go, Amir, somebody's recording your room, Amir. And he goes, fuck, I know, I can't get him out. I can't find which account it is.
They're celebrating at the Che Guevara.
Oh my god. How are you, Isa?
You're
Oh,
always
I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's early.
Yeah, okay, everybody should get together, should be able to, like what the UN is supposed to do. Everybody should be able to get together and say, wait a minute, Congo, you can't do this, or Sudan, you can't do this, or the Zionist state, you can't do this.
Why do they always call it the Zionist? Why does Amir always call it the Zionist entity?
You can't do that right now, everybody's so afraid of America. So it's good that this came into office to destroy America to the point that it can't be the power that just dictates its power to the world. That's what I want.
Wow. This survived. This man who I've heard is terrible.
You get my point, Ace. I'm not really defending Trump at all. I really think he's doing very bad things. But the point is that this Trump does not suggest that
I know that
American
you're driving them crazy with not being able to
are
keep that.
unconscious.
I know, right? This is.
It's like
It makes the
same as
game
you
that
say
much more
Iranian
fun.
people,
But it's like, it's like I want it to be even more intense to where they're like. So he actually shut the room down earlier,
It's like,
and he was like, I'm gonna have to recreate the room and see if we can figure this out. So he recreated the room. I come back in, they're like, fuck, it's anonymous again.
my claim is that when I say American people, this like I lived in the United States for more than 20 years. The people that I saw,
But they're so
the people that
obsessed
I worked with,
it's horrible
they
for
are
them
very
that they have
moral.
put a spy there and that they know he's extremist.
Do you know this chick named Eze? Yeah, this is like my mental illness, their mental but do you know this chick Eze? You know the black Hebrew Israeli chick Eze, crazy fucking dumb bitch. She was like, how the fuck? Because she kept going into all my rooms and I kept kicking her and blocking her, and she was, how the fuck is this motherfucker blocking me, but I can't block him? What the fuck? I'm reporting him. I'm reporting every room. I'm reporting his YouTubes. I'm gonna get this John Kitover fucking ruined. You never met a bitch like me. I'm gonna get you Kitover. So funny.
This is hilarious. I love it. Like, you're driving people crazy, really.
I mean, if you want to drive them crazy, just go in the room, go up on stage and say, hey, somebody's recording this room and putting it on a bunch of rooms, bunch of houses. It's on YouTube, it's on X Spaces, it's on Instagram. Like, you're all being recorded.
He's obsessed with my name, by the way. He keeps on calling me pussy.
I know I want to win this politics. I really want to win this
Keep this
politics.
speaker means pussy. Now, I'm going to go in there now. You record it and listen to it, and then I'll come back in afterwards.
Okay, sounds good.
It's going to be hilarious. 1 second.
If we condemn the
It's got to be sleeping.
prime
He's been doing
minister
this all
dying in
day.
Tel Aviv,
Did you know that Amir is like 73 years old?
Yeah, I know he's pretty old.
even one, we have to condemn it.
And the children that died a few hours before, you condemn that.
Little James, I'm sorry I
condemn
these
that.
people.
I'm so
They're
pissed at
anonymous.
that. It took me 24 hours to calm down to have this
Huh?
conversation.
I love what you're doing.
Thanks.
It's amazing. Keep it up.
Thanks.
It is politics. You are fighting a
You are
war
becoming
which
the
for
new
a
hero
long
that
time
you
have
have done after everybody
brainwashed
hates
them.
you.
Everybody still hates me. Somebody called me a clubhouse villain today, like a real life world, like living clownhouse villain.
We have to work very hard to
That was a big
untangle
compliment.
this thing that they have created.
Iranian people want peace. They want peace and prosperity.
Yeah,
We know it.
And I posted an article too, by the way, that came out today that says that 50% of the Republicans are against
No, just saying.
Republicans, and the MAGA
Yeah.
base is. and MAGA
So the
base
thing
is-
about Anonymous is if you have a new account and you look at somebody's profile, then they can identify you.
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah.
They block
The
it.
Israeli sect of the United
Oh,
States.
stop your silence.
Zero, you're low again.
We are getting
That guy made my the house and screaming my room, correct? The idiot best friend, isn't that your best friend?
I mean, how are you? What's happening?
He's screaming my room, right? You know who I'm talking about. You were in that room right now.
Tell me.
So he had so Amir has and other people have
Terrorist supporters or some shit.
What? Somebody's streaming your room? I can't believe it. I'm here.
You
You're allowed.
He was in there.
Oh. What can I say?
What can you say?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, guys, Pika actually means vagina or pussy in a whole bunch of languages. So he wants us to call him pretty much a vagina Jew. Can't believe this.
Are you still obsessed? Are you still obsessed talking about that?
No. You see what you just did? You just see what you just did? You lied. You see? This is the problem.
What did I lie about?
I just asked you a question. Did you just come from my room? What did you say?
No, they're controlling people that come here.
Who's doing that? Tell me.
You know who's doing it. That guy that's sitting in the audience with the anonymous account.
Which one?
Bro, you were just in that room with Issa, right? That Zionist chick, you know, from Guatemala and whatever. And you were in there with that idiot Republican, whatever the fuck his name is.
I can't believe you allowed somebody to record your rooms in here. You must be careful.
He's a pussy Jew, man.
So when do you get him? What do you allow him on stage?
It's okay. No, he's not streaming it. It's somebody. You see it in the audience, all the way at the bottom, with the unknown account. That's not a house member.
Right.
That one person since morning has been streaming my room. I can't figure out who the fuck this guy is.
Can I tell him very quickly, hey, if you're streaming the room, kiss my black ass. Okay, go Phil.
Would be good for everybody.
What did you say?
You all have to find out.
So that guy he's got 30 accounts. That means he's got 30 phones. So he has one account in this room, and then he's got another account in his own house. So he's got two phones side by side. One is streaming whatever we're speaking here into the other phone.
What's so funny is it makes everybody else in the room very paranoid and scared that somebody's been recording the room. And he doesn't actually want to tell people that the room is being recorded.
He's got the YouTube, he's streaming it on YouTube as well. No, it's not honor, it's just because I think the Zionists are triggered and butthurt by my rooms every day.
And the fact that somebody wants to record what you have to say, I think I would be honored.
The fact that you just lied, just caught you in a fucking white lie. See, this is the problem.
It's not Pika doing that.
He's a harmless, he could have a name like Pussy Jew, Pika means pussy. He could have a name like this, he can edit his pictures, but he's not going to
Well, you know the channel has been through too.
What you say, sir?
I have no idea. I have no idea. But
do I know the what?
It's an honor channel and privilege.
The channel, the guy idiot in the house near the house is Amir Terrorist Supporters
It's
house.
also Donald Trump's house system.
Yeah, the idiot. You don't know. He opened it on this app, and then a YouTube channel is like a Republican some bullshit channel. Then he goes by.
I think Republican comedy, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Now that everybody knows that they recorded, they won't just all of a sudden shut up. Wow.
No, they didn't shut up. I actually jumped in.
Netanyahu, kiss my
There you go.
Dude, we were last.
Netanyahu is a faggot. Netanyahu is a war criminal.
Yeah, be talking about that.
Netanyahu's wife offered me $1,000 to have sex with her in the car, and I told her to kiss my ass.
She's
They say anything by going around.
She's Trump's girlfriend, brother.
And I personally safe spaces. I don't trust this Pika guy. Maybe you know him. The profile is giving proud Zionists, genocide supporters. So I don't really know what's going on. You know, I don't even know recording.
Hold on a second. Hold on, Zero. Hang on. The reason why I love Zionists on this app, on my panel, because we can go back and forth. There's always new stuff that's coming out.
If Amir is an American, I think he gets pretty borderline close to being
I know some people, they get triggered,
terrorist,
bothered by genocide maniac. I call him as it is. He's a genocide maniac. What do you expect from Zionists? So, and we go back and forth. It's pretty much like a punching bag.
I mean, you know I've had
Yeah, we've been with him for a long time. I mean, he used to use the name Pumalu, and then he used a different name and a different name. So Lemons, we know him.
Oh, Puma, is that you? How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I mean, we've had a respectful relationship until you took the wrong calling of my name and decided to
Literally, your name, Pika means fucking pussy, vagina. What the fuck are you on about? It literally means in Icelandic, the Czech Republic, and the Slovak language. It literally means,
look, I've got a problem with that. I'll tell you why. Because you take it from a derogatory term. I take it from...
That's what it means, bro. That's what it means.
Well, think of all the females in the room. They feel rather... vilified by your view.
Everybody be quiet.
If your name is vagina, I'm gonna call you vagina. That's it. Simple as that. Your name literally means vagina.
It sounds like you've got a problem with that.
You guys,
anyways, I'm gonna call it spade a spade. I'm not gonna fucking, change the language just because of you.
Why do you have a problem with the female anatomy? Why do you have to point it out?
I have to point it out because my job is to bring awareness about the truth, right? And that's what I do. I'll have to let people know what the Zionist entity is doing and what the Zionists are capable of on this app and how they're treating other people and what they call themselves. Tomorrow you're gonna be calling yourself, Kahanis. You had a picture of Kahanis. That motherfucker is a terrorist. That, according to the Zionist entity, is a terrorist. According to America, is a terrorist. Fucking, you were glorifying that fucker. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
By referring my name to a female anatomy is calling out Zionists. Is that
your name means Pika fucking means vagina. What do you want me to call you? Fucking vagina Jew. That's what your name is.
Where do you get that from? What about all the?
I gave you a fucking definition this morning. Give me definition again.
What about the Japanese who follow the Pikachu?
Fucking bro. Pikachu, it's a fucking the card thing. That thing, that's different. That's a character. But you, hold on. If you would have called yourself a Pikachu, it would have been a different thing. You literally have a fucking Pikachu. You are a Jew, and Pika literally means fucking vagina. You're a vagina Jew.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, you're just an idiot. You're never gonna learn. You're never gonna learn what English language is about. Anyways, it's okay. Just keep on, siding with the fucking genocidal maniac, man. Keep on saying self-inflicted genocide. Keep on. It's okay. There's no point, man.
And really, the only thing we do is try to get a distraction and stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, it's not.
We use him as a punching bag, Lemons. He's just a punching bag.
Annoying, but I'm just like.
You sound frustrated, really frustrated.
Wait, there's exile in this room, the driver. I'm inviting you. Yesterday he actually admitted it was a genocide. And God,
Did he really?
if you still feel, that was why I hope he comes up.
They change.
They probably
change the language when they go into their rooms.
That's the thing. It's like the follow-up question is, are you okay with that? And you'd probably still be like, yo.
No, he was
Nope, it's
proud
the way
to
people
say it. I don't know if he means it, but hi driver, just wanted to, clarify. I heard you. We were speaking yesterday. Do you still believe it's genocide?
Well, I mean, with that kind of introduction, why would I want to play games with you? Like, why not just have an authentic conversation?
That's the only way you came up. That's the only reason why you accepted my invite.
That's not his real name is Doctor.
You're not really interested in whether it's a genocide or not. What you're interested in is blaming somebody. That's what I understand.
No.
It was funny.
Can you what?
I'm not. But
Does it sound like he's cracking there? It sounds like he's cracking. This added stress of being recorded in his unrecorded space is ruining his fun. Oh, there's Sam. Hi, Sam.
I still am.
So what made you change your name to driver? Like, whose driver are you?
It's an inside.
I remember you in
You've been reported to the Department of Homeland Security.
You were in that space all the time, co-moderated. You're still in healthy debates, right?
Yes.
That ugly piece of shit. Yeah, no, I know. I know you. You're a doctor. What was your last name?
It's right in my fucking profile. I mean, how hard?
Let me check it out.
I went to the guy's room.
Oh yeah, Dr. Jordan. Yeah, Dr. Jordan. How you been? Are you good?
I'm good. Yeah.
Wait, Amir, I went to the guy's room who was recording us, and then he got scared that I was there and kicked me out.
Yeah, I know he's kicking everybody out, but he's recording. He's like on the anonymous account at the bottom. But anyways, there's no point.
Yeah.
But Dr. Jordan, you never accepted it was genocide, like in the beginning, right? It was you change your position, like a recent change.
I mean, you know, it's evolved for a lot of people. I accept that it could be considered genocide now.
Oh, okay. What about right now the attack on Iran? Do you think it's justified?
I think that if you present a nuclear threat to anybody, it's justified, sure.
But I believe it went against Israel. They went against American wishes, though, Dr. Jordan. Like, Trump literally said, attacking Iran is off limits, right? Even though he came back out, like, after you guys did target Iran, he said, we knew about this attack, but according to my knowledge, they knew about the American intelligence knew about that Israel was going to attack in the next few days, but they didn't know exact time, date. But you don't think this was like a sudden attack without telling America that we're about to do the attack?
I mean, I don't believe anything that Donald Trump says, so I don't know. I mean, like, I don't believe what he says, so it's kind of hard to kind of evaluate that. But I would say that if a nation presents a nuclear threat and they've threatened to use these nuclear arms, then I think there's some justification taking them out. Do I think that taking innocent civilians out? No, I do not think that's okay.
So wait, I have a follow-up question on that, right? Now, I completely get your thinking, and if someone threatened me, I'd always go ahead and initiate attack. I understand that thinking, right? But, and this is my whole rebuttal to this, right? If someone has been accusing me of wanting to harm them for the last 30 years, but I have done nothing to them, right? And every time they accuse me, which is based on no evidence, and then try and attack me, am I now still am I the one who's the agitator, or am I the victim in this case?
Well, I mean, I think that most of the world considers Iran a terrorist state, so why would or a state that's
an association fallacy. That's an association fallacy.
Yeah, that.
Can I champion you guys?
You should probably find someone else who's more invested in this. Like, I'm more focused on what's going on in Los Angeles right now.
Okay, fair.
That's a good. Okay. It's good that Dr. Johnson. It's good that you are trying to refocus in your own country now. So it's time that every American did that.
Actually,
Okay, now.
Hold on. Yesterday, this man was saying, if you're anti-Zionist, it's an anti-Semitic trope. And to be careful, because apparently on these social audio apps, your big mom trying to record it.
It's okay.
She was trying to pull that bullshit. I know, but it was just funny.
It doesn't matter.
Trope.
The other point that doctor, the other point that you just mentioned was that everybody or the majority of the people in the world think Iran is a terrorist organization. No, it doesn't think. It's just the global north. Even within the global north, some of the countries, like the US and its poodle, Israel, and some of the European countries think Iran is a terrorist organization. Most of the global south doesn't think so, number one. Number two, you keep talking about a threat by the nuclear weapons from Iran. I was just watching a video of Netanyahu saying that Iran is just 4 to 5 years away from creating a nuclear bomb. And he said this nearly 30 years ago, just when he was entering the politics in Israel. And now 30 years later, he's saying the same thing, that Iran is very close to creating a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, well, that means they've been setting them back every decades, every few years.
Pikachu, we have agreed that we will not intervene when each other talk. And you just broke that, like like every other Zionist, you just broke that covenant as well. This is probably more than the 10 covenants that you have been breaking. So keep your mouth shut, please. The point is that Israel is also developing or probably already has nuclear weapons in its arsenal. Everybody in the world agrees. And it is not subjected to any of the IAEA inspection. Nobody knows how many are there. It is not a signatory to the NPT, Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, whereas Iran has been a signatory to the NPT. It has been allowing international inspectors to inspect its nuclear sites, and they have been coming out with reports every now and then, and so on and so forth. So you're talking about Iran being a threat to Israel. Iran has not attacked any of its neighbors except in the Iran-Iraq war. It has not attacked any of its neighbor, I don't know, in the last 3, 4, 5 decades. And number two, Iran has never attacked the US or US interests anywhere in the world. Israel, and you know what? The funny thing is, US and Iran were having a negotiation, and that negotiation was supposed to have culminated, in a success or in a failure this Sunday, that is tomorrow. As from where I live, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow Sunday, they were going to have an agreement with the US. Maybe the agreement wouldn't have been, conclusive. Maybe they would not have reached an agreement. Why did Israel attack Iran when an agreement was imminent? Trump said this, that they are playing very hard, but we hope to have an agreement by Sunday. When Trump says that we are going to have an agreement with Sunday, and Israel says, no, they are just, playing for time and goes and bombs Iran. I think Iran has every...
On the same day that Ayatollah has called for the elimination of Israel. On the same day.
Okay, Pikachu, you broke the 15th covenant, so I just pushed you down. Sit there. So the point is, if we had waited just 72 hours, if Israel had waited for 72 hours, there could have been an agreement between the US and Iran. But Israel did not want that agreement, because making an agreement means peace. And Israel doesn't want it. It wants continuous wars with its neighbors, with the rest of the world, because that's the only way it survives. So in that respect, I think Iran needs to do more. Just sending a few missiles towards Israel isn't enough. So if you want to blame Khomeini, or what do you call him, Ayatollah Khomeini, I will blame him only for sending a very few missiles towards Tel Aviv. It's not enough.
Hasn't Iran been a little bit more patient? There's other times when they had every right to respond to Israel, the recent, their sovereignty, and they kind of held back and then try to, they actually refrained. This time, people will keep blaming Iran for being this terrorist, horrible state, but now this was so egregious. Doesn't Iran have the right to defend itself?
No, as from their perspective, Iranians are Amalek, Iranians are subhumans, so they don't have a right to self-defense. And yesterday France gave an official statement, and so did many of the European countries, that Israel is right to attack Iran because they have a right to self-defend. I mean, defend against what? Iran did not do anything. So what are you defending yourself against? I don't get this, man. These people are crazy. These people are literally crazy.
I'm going to try that. I'm going to go rob somebody's house, and then I'm going to say, I have a right to defend myself.
No, sorry.
They may steal from me somewhere in the future. They may steal, so let me...
They have shifty eyes. I perceive.
No, I want to ask only one question to Dr. Johnson. Doctor, do you agree that Israel could have waited? I don't agree with what
Dr. Jordan,
sorry, I'm sorry, I mistook. Dr. Jordan, this is my question. I do not agree that a country has a right to attack another country if it is supposed to be developing nuclear weapons officially and legally, okay? Now, having said that, I want to give you the space. Could Israel not have waited for 72 hours to see if a deal takes place between the US and Iran on Sunday? And maybe if the deal did not take place, they could have had, they do not have the right, but they could have had an excuse to go and attack Iran. Why Israel could not wait for 72 hours? Can you answer me that, Doctor?
Sure. So I trust Netanyahu a little more than I trust Donald Trump, but that's not saying much. So I don't know. I don't have a love affair with either of them. So as far as I'm concerned, you're right.
Thank you for acknowledging.
I just wanted to add something really quick. So Dr. Jordan, you said you trust Netanyahu more than you trust Trump. I mean, Netanyahu has, funded $15 million to Hamas every month, up to $1.4 billion, according to Ehud Barak's testimony. Netanyahu recently, we found out that he was giving weapons to ISIS that was stealing aid in Gaza, selling it in black market for triple the price, and putting the blame on Hamas. I don't think anybody, if they find out about all of this, I don't think anybody in their right mind.
Of course it's boring. These people are fucking loser terrorists.
I said,
You should have all these rooms streaming, but have another one where you're just chilling, but allow them to stream.
Oh, you mean like go live my life and not listen to their bullshit?
That's right. Like you can have the 10 phones that are streaming in on Clubhouse. That's fine. Another 5 phones that are streaming into YouTube, and another 10 phones that are streaming into Instagram. But then you should have another account where you're in another room in your house and you're just chilling.
Mm.
Do you see that they're trying to do the same to you? Is this unknown
Yeah,
intimidating you, John?
that's probably Amir or Sam or one of them.
Is this unknown bothering you, John? Is your nervous system okay?
What's interesting is like when I hit the bell,
He's saying don't trust them.
if they're in the room, and they're in the on, if they have the mic on or something, then like I can hear the bell and I can detect who it is in the room.
Which is literally filled with Western European people. Okay, it's mostly Western Europeans who control the IAEA, and these people are friends of Iran.
I bet
the whole unknown thing is
the IAEA inspected, and
use
they
it on
made a
people
very
that
clear
have
statement
no control
that
whatsoever
Iran
on
is
their
not
nervous
anywhere
system
near
and are
developing
so
a nuclear
paranoid.
weapon or a nuclear bomb, but they
Like,
said
it
it
doesn't
is in
work on
breadth
other
of many of
people.
the other things.
Like,
They listed
I
out
can
a few things that
Working
Iran
on
is
multi my rooms
supposedly
and
in
I don't
breach
care,
of.
they're recording me.
So I get it. But the point is,
Listen, the funnest part is when Amir has to announce that the room is being recorded, and then everybody freaks out. Like that's what sends like a shockwave through everybody.
Do you think they're afraid that because they're supporting terrorists, they will be listened to and they will?
Yeah, they know that what they're saying is sensitive, and they're crossing the line all the time with what they're saying. So they're paranoid about what they're saying, and that's why these are unrecorded rooms. They think they can get away with it, but because of this anonymous now. But that's the thing. It takes one person to essentially record them, and no one's doing it. So it's like, I mean, I could call FBI or Department of Homeland Security with some of this audio footage and say, this guy lives in Dearborn, Michigan. He's a fucking terrorist. Listen to this, and they fucking go knock on his door on Tuesday.
Yeah, I guess. Also, I think it is also illegal in whatever country that has categorized these groups like Hamas, Hezbollah, the IRGC as terrorist groups, and if you support them, that's illegal, right? And they can go after you.
Yeah, it's just a question of the Attorney General in that state or the federal Attorney General who, if they want to prosecute, or make an arrest. But I'm sure we could look up statute about, giving some support, material communications, any kind of marketing engagement, etc. It's like, Amir's been doing this for quite a long time.
After what Trump is doing to all these countries of terrorism, that he's banning them so that they would stop coming into the U.S. I don't think that they will stop at the ones that are just suspects. If you have people that are actually proactively supporting and promoting this propaganda, like, why wouldn't you investigate them? I think it makes sense.
I mean, it's just a question of who has 3 hours to listen to this bullshit to find the most toxic, shit that they're saying. I mean, I just find this like a fun game. This is like the reverse of what they're doing. It's like the next level. But none of this would be possible unless Clubhouse created this anonymous capability, which should technically enforce higher standards of speech, but it doesn't. People get off on basically praising terrorism. I mean, a girl today was praising the attacks in Tel Aviv. It's like laughing and giggling, so happy, and there's just a lot of like fucked up people in this world who praise and praise and praise. I mean, I'm not like gloating over the attacks on Iran or like even happy about it. Like, why is anybody happy about any of this? It's a waste of our time.
Yeah, it's horrible. I mean, I am happy about the elimination of the terrorist heads, but they have done it so surgical. It's just amazing.
Okay, listen to this fucker.
Whatsoever. Okay, Kirk said on his podcast, they do not want U.S. involvement. They do not want the United States to be engaged in this. So the Republicans, who are MAGA, who are staunch supporters, matter of fact, one of the reasons they voted for Trump was that he wasn't going to get us involved in any more wars.
Zero.
No, Zero, all these people...
he's going to lose his base if he keeps backing up Netanyahu. He's going to lose his MAGA Republican base.
No, all these people...
You know what the funniest thing is that, see this Anon in the room? The only way that they can come in my room is because of Anon. Because I'm blocking and kicking everybody. So they want to come back in here to listen to it, which is so fucking funny. Because you know what that means? Everybody eventually becomes anonymous.
Through the senators that it owns. Okay? So
yeah, this is what Clown House wants, but how much do you want to bet that they delete my accounts or something? Because they're that stupid.
By Israel. No, it's the U.S. that has been occupied by Israel.
This guy's a real piece of shit.
Get rid of that, occupation, end that occupation. There could be peace in the world for the Israelis,
1.7 thousand comments in the
everybody
room.
else. Literally everybody else in the world, I'm telling you. Because if you look at, I'm going to share an article.
And the Greater Israel Plan, that's the number one thing here.
This chick
You know what is, in the last 2-3 days, there has been a conference going on in Israel in a place called Sederot, S-D-E-R-O-T. This conference is by all the cabinet ministers like Eliyahu,
let me keep you working.
Smotrich, Ben-Gvir, all these people are having a discussion as to how to annex Gaza and West Bank, okay? And I believe some of the US senators have also participated in this. And in that, it was also discussed whether this is the right time to annex Syria and Lebanon, because Syria and Lebanon also have to be annexed someday. So is that date today? This is what is being discussed over there. And people want us to believe that no, those are all false claims. When somebody mentions Eretz Israel, no, Ben-Gvir is a right-wing extremist. You don't have to give, any respect to what he says. You just ignore him. People ignored Ben-Gvir. Ben-Gvir was a terrorist who was instrumental in killing one of the prime ministers of Israel when he signed the Oslo Accord in the 1990s. Okay? I think Shimon Peres or someone. And Ben-Gvir today literally controls the cabinet. Netanyahu is not as powerful as Ben-Gvir, because if Ben-Gvir withdraws support, Netanyahu falls. So today these people are saying...
Wait, did you not see this parallel? So it's been confirmed there was Mossad agents within Iran for many years. Infiltrated, they were actually able to, dismantle or whatever they did with the Iranian defense system. And then there was the attack. this has been in the play for many, many years. Same thing with the Patriot attack. But these guys are trying to use it as, okay, they've used this Palestinian conflict, this genocide. They've spread their wings everywhere. They're trying to get everything they want done. By using it, oh, Iran is funding this, Iran is funding that, or Iran has this, Iran has that. But this has not been on your purview. Like you said, for 30 years, they've been saying, oh, for 5 years, they're going to get a nuclear weapon. They're dangerous. Hasn't happened. The biggest crazy part was years infiltration of Mossad within Iran. This has been in play. They're going to annex what they can right now under the whole guise of, we don't want another Holocaust. That's what freaking Bibi said. Okay? Iran might do this to us. Like, these are the talking points they're using to try to get all of their goals accomplished. It is dangerous.
Do you think they will eventually want to annex?
Does anybody disagree with Iran responding to Israel? Does anybody think it's justified that Israel just went in out of nowhere, freaking bombed Iran?
See, Iran bombed, Iran targeted the Mossad headquarters and IDF headquarters, which are, Israel has placed them in civilian neighborhoods, which is totally wrong. Which is, Israel is hiding these headquarters behind civilians. So civilians are being used as shields, human shields by Israel, their own civilians. We all know Israel doesn't care about its civilians. Otherwise they would have ended the war and recovered their hostages 18 months ago. They would not have invoked the Hannibal Directive on 7th October, which supposedly killed about 700 people, okay, of their own citizens. So why have Mossad and IDF headquarters in the middle of Tel Aviv? I want to ask that question. Why have you keep blaming Hamas for hiding behind civilians, okay? So why are you hiding behind civilians? Why is the Mossad headquarters and the IDF headquarters right in the middle of Tel Aviv? Iran is justified to target these two buildings. And if these two buildings are set up right in the middle of civilian neighborhoods, it's Israel that needs to be blamed. What do you think is? Am I right?
I agree. I brought this up earlier because they're the whole idea that Iran does tend to follow, the ethics and morality that Islam says when it comes to rules of engagement. So you need to make sure that there's no your civilians, children, and you're only going to be, attacking, military, bases, etc. They banked on that, and on purpose placed I'm learning, I didn't even know this, a very pertinent military equipment in the middle of Tel Aviv, in areas that are heavily populated. Mossad, I couldn't even believe the amount of military equipment and bases that are very important with their targets, essentially, all within civilian areas in neighborhood. So again, Iran did target. But if they're sharp and all that, does fly this way, that way, and they are innocent civilians that get injured, that's not their fault because they're not targeting civilian homes. They're targeting installations. So who actually hides behind civilians? Oh God! On the IDF Twitter, they're saying, "Oh my God, Iran is targeting our children, our civilians." Yeah, that's the bloody narrative. It's so ironic.
No, the whole, if you look at the Western media description, they are calling it catastrophic, inhuman, and so on. What about the inhumanity that you showed with Gaza are still showing? 2 million people are being starved. They are treated not even like dogs. Did you see that video where you don't know how many thousands of people are gathered in one place and the so-called Gaza Aid Agency is literally throwing loaves of bread and people are, jumping here and there to catch hold of them. I haven't seen anything in my life, we have seen so many wars, so many things in our life, so many bad things happen everywhere in the world. But I haven't, personally I haven't seen anything like this anywhere in the world. We have seen so many killings, but what Israel is doing to the Palestinians, I don't think a human being is, if one human being can do something like this to another human being. I don't think so.
Friends, what bothers me is that they're not getting condemned by the international community. The way in which Hitler and the fascism and Nazis were brought down was because the international community held them accountable, they were condemned, things were put in place. But in this case, it's like Israel has a free-for-all. I don't get it. I really don't understand at this point. How much of a hold do they have?
They have
The world.
No, they have a lot of hold. Is you got to understand this. Okay, money. They have a lot of money. Okay, and they have a lot of hidden information about all these political leaders everywhere in the world. It's something that has been in the making for the last 80 years. So Israel has been planning, because from day one they have been planning to create the Eretz Israel. So they needed to have something, some dirt on every politician in the world, and they have it. When they don't have dirt, they try to pay them off, bribe them into agreeing to what they do and what they say. If both of them don't work, they assassinate JFK. Simple.
Those files have actually that are coming out do prove that JFK did not want Israel to start developing nuclear weapons. He had information, he had everything in his hands, and he was vehemently against it. That came out of the JFK files that are being released. But
I have one question for you, because you were talking earlier and then you threw me off stage. Sorry for interrupting you. But you didn't answer my point about what I brought up about the idea of the regime in Iran that's been openly calling for the annihilation of Israel. You didn't answer that point, did you? Just kind of like, walked over it.
Okay, yeah, that's because you've interrupted. Somebody wants to interrupt you now, Pikachu. How does it feel? Anyway, Pikachu, this is the point. Okay, if Iran has threatened of eliminating or destroying Israel. No.
They've done that. We acknowledge they've done that openly and publicly first.
No, if you say so, I acknowledge it. I believe every politician.
Have you not?
I have
openly call for the destruction of Israel.
I haven't read it. I haven't seen it. But many of the world leaders, especially the American leaders, say that, and I would think it is true that he wanted to. Okay, fine. It doesn't. I don't have to see it to believe. No, I don't have to see it to believe it. I'm agreeing with what you are saying. This is a point that I was going to make, even if I saw it. If Iran has made these threatening comments, has it, acted upon those threats? It has never acted upon those threats so far as I know. And the US and Israel are powerful enough, technologically, militarily, in every possible manner, to deter any action by Israel. Okay? So why go to war? Why start bombing Iran?
So you mean any action against Israel, you mean?
Sorry, against Israel, sorry, yeah.
Okay, so do you understand that what's happened right now is exactly what you just explained? Strong enough and technologically able enough to deter what is coming from verbal intent from the leaders of Iran? Do you understand that?
Ever wondered why? Ever wondered why Iran makes those comments? Ever wondered why?
It's not a case of ever wondering why.
Perhaps because children are being massacred right next to children. Perhaps that's why, right?
Okay, so if that's the case, why is Iran the only country that is saying that?
No, okay, can I answer that? Yeah, so here's the point. Okay, I can give you a list of Israeli leaders and also some American leaders clearly stating that no Palestinian is innocent and everyone in Gaza should be annihilated. Okay, I can give you a list of these ministers. No. I'm giving you an example.
Iran's
Listen.
We're talking about. No, I'm talking about the leaders of Iran. Their intent.
Pikachu, you have to listen. I am speaking to the
topic.
I'll answer. No. Let me complete.
My question. When was
talking
this
to
comment
Fayez.
made?
I'm talking to Fayez.
When was it made?
I'm talking to Fayez.
Okay, can you just tell us when was this
I'm talking to Fayez. I'm not talking to you.
Okay, Airplane. I'll ask that question. Airplane, it doesn't really matter if Iran made that statement or not. My point is this. No. Listen to me, Pikachu.
No, it doesn't matter. You made it clear. You've answered the question. You don't have to go any further.
If you want to indulge in verbal gymnastics, I am not ready for it. If you want to listen to me fully, can I take 30 seconds? Pikachu, you want everybody to acknowledge your viewpoint. I don't have to do that. All I'm saying is, when Israelis threaten Palestinians with annihilation, does it mean that the Palestinians have a right, as a precaution, as a deterrence, to destroy Israel? Would that be all right? Because you're saying Iran made this threat, so as a deterrence, it was right for Israel to go and attack Iran. So by that logic, Palestinians should be right if they attack Israel, because Israelis, mainly politicians, the main leaders, have been threatening Palestinians of annihilation, complete annihilation.
Well, in the same way that you haven't seen the leaders of Iran say these things, you have also not seen how Iran has sponsored their proxies. So
yes, I am happy.
In that respect, I completely agree with you.
I got a list of all these statements were made by Netanyahu.
Yeah, let Ace complete it.
Sure. Yes, I'm just going to say one thing really quick, and then I'll give you the mic. So I have a list of all the statements made by your officials that have said a whole bunch of destruction. They want to how they want to destruct the government of Iran and this and that. There's a lot of crazy shit that they have said. I can read it out, but not right now. I'll do it after Ace.
Okay, Pikachu, when somebody has an intent to destroy you, they don't actually verbalize it. Because let's actually go back to Hitler. The Nazi propagandists, the regime genocidal policies, they actually said the Jewish population was being resettled. Hitler never said he was going to exterminate anybody. They hid it and they did it. The point is, stop. You don't understand something. I'm not denying Iranian officials haven't made certain statements. However,
you seem to bring up Holocaust and the inversion and
you don't tell your enemy what you're going to do it. Because look at Hitler. Hitler didn't say shit. He actually hid it from the German population. He built his death camps in Poland. He said they're being resettled. They were sent to concentration camps and 6 million killed and 7 million others killed as well. What's your point exactly? Your point makes no sense. If you want to kill people in mass, you're deceiving, you hide it, and then you just do it secretly. You don't keep saying shit for 30 years and nothing happens. Please, do not use this false equivalency because you can't even match it up to what actually has happened that was horrific. It was never stated by Hitler.
It was stated in Mein Kampf. It was in his book.
But that was after the fact. That was after the fact.
No, it wasn't.
The death camp. No. You understand? The death camps were set up in Poland. There were 3,000 concentration camps, and there are 5 of them were set up in Poland. They told the German people and they told Jewish people that they're being
resettled. So you're saying every leader's genocide
and then they were
intent
sent
is the
to
same?
concentration
Are you
camps.
saying every leader's genocide intent is the same?
You're not understanding something. You're not understanding something. Hold on.
It's a bit strange what you're saying.
In one instance, the person did not make it explicitly clear, and you did what he did. And the other
I don't think you think before you speak. What do you think before you speak?
I'm giving you I'm giving you an example. You're saying hold on.
2 years in one mouth. You can't use them both at the same time.
Listen, the Israeli government has said some very genocidal, fascist, horrific things over the years. So are we supposed to say, okay, that is enough to go attack them? They say it and then they do it. They say it and then they do it. Intent and action need to go hand in hand. What evidence is there that Iran has these nuclear weapons and they're planning on using them? They don't even have them. What are they going to use?
The fact that they've said that they want to eliminate the
It's
state
been
of
30
Israel
years.
is pretty
30
much
years.
clear
In
intent.
1990, Bibi said in 5 years that Iran will have these nuclear weapons and do this.
Thankfully, they've been set back on every occasion. And thankfully, they've been set back on every
Do you
occasion.
know how many sanctions have been put on Iran? Why is it that Israel gets to have nuclear weapons? Why?
Who says they've got nuclear weapons? I think you say they've got nuclear weapons.
They do.
Here's the thing. When they do, they just they don't want to allow any officials to come and do the inspection and whatnot. They do that. They even have the facility inside Israel. A tiny country has fucking nuclear weapons. They can have it, but any other nations that want to have nuclear weaponry, they
I will give you one more example.
I think that they can get
Nobody
rid
has
of
said, I don't think
the IRC that
they didn't say anything. My God. They don't pretend, they just kill. They don't pretend, they just do it. They don't do that. They don't do. They just do that.
Yeah,
For
like
sure.
with Israel, you know,
Now, here's
and
another example I'm
so
going
they're
to
like
give as to why
for, I don't know, like
Pikachu,
with,
I'll give you one more example
shit.
of why your
If
argument
that
is
happens, that's a
flawed.
very small thing. I think
I shared an article about 14 minutes ago. You can scroll and find it out. It's from Times of Israel, which reports that Heritage Minister Eliyahu has called for annexing Lebanon and Syria. Okay, besides annexing Gaza and the West Bank. Now, because now Lebanon is being threatened and Syria is being threatened, hypothetically I'm asking you, since these two countries are being threatened of getting annexed by Israel, do these countries, as a right, as a deterrent, have a right to, attack Israel, to deter Israel from annexing Syria and Lebanon? As per your logic, I'm asking you.
Well, I'll come back up to you on that. I think the intent of Syria and Lebanon has actually been to attack Israel. So therefore, Israel, in its own right, has the right to defend itself. Okay? So whether or what you see, Syria and Lebanon, as well as other parts. And in the past, Israel has done just that. They have defended themselves. They have no intent to annex anything. Sure. To take land to defend itself and buffer itself from those threats on its borders.
I just want to say one thing. Pikachu, if I provide you an article from Times of Israel, while the truce was going on with Lebanon and Israel, you had some settlers going across the border into Lebanon to do survey the land, how they're going to build settlements. And when they came back, instead of idea of condemning it, they're like, next time coordinate with us, and we'll give you protection. So, in other words, you're glorifying, you're promoting the fucking settlements. Just like you do it in the West Bank, you do it across the board into Lebanon and other nations.
There's no, let me tell you, because if this thing continues as it is, you said Israel doesn't have any intention, that was a deterrence. So you think only Israel has the right to deterrence, other countries don't? Is it because you don't consider the other countries people as equal to Israelis?
You can call it land grabbing, I'll call it defense.
No, let's talk about 8 months ago when Syria fell, when Assad abandoned and ran away from Syria. Mount Hermon was occupied by Israel, and Israel famously announced, Defense Minister Katz, who was at that time the new Minister of Defense, he announced that Israel has Israel will not relinquish Mount Hermon ever again. Naphtali Bennett went to the extent of saying that Mount Hermon, this is the thing that you always say, Mount Hermon always belonged to Israel because God gave this land to us. I don't know how many lands has God given to you guys. I'm just trying to find out from God if my house is also given to you guys 3,000 years ago. You know? So he and then this Ben Gvir guy goes and says that we are near to a dream of creating Eretz Israel because Mount Hermon plays a very important role in our scriptures, and then there is another crazy guy who's not a politician. I'll share his name in a bit. He goes ahead and said, once we have Mount Hermon, we should also target the other areas in Lebanon and which are given in Genesis 15. He mentions Genesis 15. I don't know what is Genesis 15. Let me admit that. He quotes Genesis 15 and says, we have to take this and land, plus Medina in Saudi Arabia, because he mentions that in this so and so scripture, Medina is also considered as part of Eretz Israel. You see where it is leading to. So there is never going to be peace as long as Israel exists or as long as Israel changes its ways. It's up to you guys to decide how it has to, what it has to be, to change its ways or to dismantle Israel.
So here you are spreading this propaganda nonsense of one form of global domination that you see Jewish state wanting to grow to that level. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, the fact that you actually say that. I mean, I've known all along that I've been debating about it nuggets up here. But to be honest with you, now that I've just heard you say that, I just think to myself, what's the point? Really? Because now you just brought yourself to automatic fact by mentioning stuff like that, which is just ridiculous.
Oh, tell the truth.
That's just an opinion.
Pikachu, I shared an article.
I mean, Medina. Really? Seriously?
Pikachu, listen, Pikachu. I shared an article.
You just sound so stupid when you say things like that. You don't realize how stupid you actually sound.
Pikachu.
And Pikachu, doesn't Israel sound stupid when Israel uploads these videos of children saying that we are being victimized and so on? Doesn't that sound stupid?
No, Faisal.
And you are saying things here rather than looking up on what has been really happening.
Faisal, I let Pikachu say that because he is superior to me. He is God's chosen child. I am just a guy. Okay? So I acknowledge that.
If he had been told the civilization, you could probably say this is all my shit.
But the point, Pikachu, I'm going to tell you who said this. You may not even know him because all sorts of people are making.
You carry on, Fathers. You carry on.
Yeah. You can just listen. Go and read that article that I just shared about 16 minutes ago. That article is from Times of Israel, which talks about Israeli ministers discussing plans to annex the whole of Lebanon and Syria. And I'm going to share the name of the guy and when it was said about Medina. Now, when people keep talking about Medina and Jerusalem, which are very dear to me as well as you, for example, Jerusalem is very dear to you, as well as to Mark, as well as to so many other people. If you're going to say that I'm going to take over Medina, yeah, I'm getting involved more and more in this Israeli shit. Okay? I think my perspective's changed. I started talking about it because of Palestinians. Now I think the whole world is being threatened by Israel. I don't want anything to happen to Medina. It's very dear to me. Okay, the guy's name is Avi Lipkin. I'll write his name in the chat. 1 minute. Just hold on.
Faiz, wasn't the first Prime Minister of, Israel, he's quoted saying, if I were the Arabs, I would never sign a deal with us because look at what we've done and what we've taken. That was, I believe, the very first leader that said something like that. So they've actually trust us either. So, I mean, they make their intent right. And what nation has ever said, this is fine because of something that happened 3,000 years ago? Based upon some scripture, something that only you believe
You bring up Medina just shows how deep your hatred goes. I mean, how far and how much you want to spread the hatred.
Yeah, Fayyaz, brother, did you make your point? Did you make your point, brother? Like, I don't want to
it just is unbelievable how somebody could actually sit
brother,
and say
have you
that
finished
your
your point?
desire is to take Medina. I mean,
The world
for fuck's
feels
sake,
scared
I've
of
heard
you.
it, but now this is actually taking it to the next level. Really?
Yeah. Okay, Pikachu, I just shared the name of the guy. I don't know who this guy is.
Fires, I'm pleased for you to have shared a name.
No, Pikachu. I just shared the name of the guy who made this crazy announcement. I've just written his name, Avi Lipkin. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know what role he plays. But every Tom, Dick, and Harry makes a statement in Israel, and we are supposed to ignore it. But when every Tom, Dick, and Harry in Iran makes a statement, that should be taken seriously by us. So go and sell the story to somebody else. Anyway, Airplane, you wanted to speak, go ahead. I'm done talking.
To be honest with you, I didn't really want to interrupt you, and I don't really engage with these Zionists unless I'm, kind of bored. But listen, Pikachu, don't forget that you're a scumbag terrorist son of a bitch, and the fact that you're sitting here is a privilege for you. It's an honor for you to sit here and speak to these people. So when they're respectfully talking to you, I think you should give them the respect back, you ugly scumbag son of a bitch. You understand? You fucking Pikachu or not?
Yeah, you said so
good
much.
Job, boy. Good boy.
Thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, good boy, you fucking scumbag.
We appreciate your contribution.
Good boy.
I co-sign what Airplane said.
Me too.
Yeah. Anybody else want to sort of back up Airplane?
Mojo Alagata, Ace, the guy, Mojo Alagata is asking to come up. I don't know if you know who that is.
Wait, let me see.
No, I just brought him up. Let's see what he has to say. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I have a couple of things to say. First is a statement, the second is a question. The statement would be, don't listen to the nonsense. The U.S. stands with Israel. We love our brothers and sisters in Israel. And the question is, how many Tom, Dicks, and Harrys do you have in the middle?
You got all the dicks.
I think there are about 7 million.
We got a lot of dicks.
You got all
There are about there are 7 million in Israel. Any other question, Mojo?
No, he said the Middle East. A billion. A lot. So,
We got a lot of dicks.
And can we all agree we're all
Mojo, you're a dick. Mojo, you're a dick.
Excellent. What a wonderful way to communicate. Can we all agree on one
Let us taught me that. Yeah, over here. Taught me that over here.
I want to see if we can agree on one thing. Can we all agree?
Yeah, we can agree you're a dick. Yeah, we agree you're a dick. Go ahead.
I want to see if we can agree on one thing.
Mojo, go ahead and make a point.
Yes, can we all agree that we want a very slow, painful death for everyone in the IRGC?
No.
I don't agree with you. Okay, go ahead. What's any other question?
You made the RGC look good because of what you did.
No, I can wish that, even though that would still be wrong, I can wish the same thing for the IDF. But I also know that there are some.
Is this the proper forum? Let me just ask, is it the proper forum to talk about the pedophilia associated with the Prophet Muhammad?
Oh, you're being dropped. That's it.
Okay. I can give you examples.
No, you stoop too low.
No. This guy's a troll. Get out. I've already provoked him.
Well, Iran is finding out, the IRGC is finding out what happens when you fuck with Jews.
Oh, really? Is that what's happening? Have you seen Tel Aviv?
No,
That is what's happening.
Gabi, you just said
Your best
if you
hope.
Your best hope. Jews. You're the one bringing in Jews here, not Israel.
Zionists for Jews, Jews are Zionists.
Okay.
Zionists for Jews.
Hold on. Is Israel all Jewish people? There's other faiths there too, by the way.
Oh, really? That's the first time I've heard you say a Hasbara talking point.
What do you mean, Hasbara talking point? That's truth.
Thank you. It's nice to know that you know that the Muslims can sit next to you on a cafe if you're a Jew in Israel. There's no such thing as apartheid. Everyone's equal. It's amazing.
No.
There's 2 million Muslims there.
Hold on. Well, black people live in America alongside the white people. There's still apartheid. South Africans, black live alongside the whites. There's still apartheid. That isn't this.
Yes. Okay. Well, there is apartheid in Israel now, just like there's apartheid in America now. If that's what you.
There used to be apartheid in America.
There is no apartheid in America now, and there is no apartheid in Israel.
Great.
No, there is. Okay, Gabi, let me answer you.
And Santa Claus is coming to town.
Okay, Gabi, you keep saying, or most of the Jewish people keep saying that there are 2 million Arabs in Israel. No. Those 2 million Arabs belong to that land, and they have been kind enough to allow 7 million Jews to live with them. So the credit goes to the 2 million Arabs. It doesn't go to the 7 million Jews.
Oh,
that's point number one. That's point number one. Point number one. Point
We're
number two.
indigenous.
Gabi, not the Ashkenazis. So we'll have that discussion some other time. So point number two.
Look who's an expert in Jewish history now.
Oh, sure.
Gabe.
Can you just let him fucking finish speaking before you even say anything? Like, it's rude interrupting somebody while they're talking.
Oh, we don't give a fuck about Zionism.
It's rude.
Gabi, the second
It's rude.
point.
You're trying to nine us through the street by their feet.
Yeah, you're not in a position to sit down here and tell us what's rude and what's
Okay, Gabi, second point I wanted to make was this. There is discrimination. There are laws that discriminate against the Arab citizens of Israel, like the law of return, for example. And apartheid does exist in the occupied territories. Palestinian territories occupied by Israel, which are in the same land. So there you do have
Security
apartheid.
segregation, not apartheid.
So okay, that's all. I know, Pikachu.
Treating Palestinians second class citizens.
That's what the white Afrikaners said in South Africa. You know that. So Gabi, there is apartheid in Israel, in the occupied.
Say there's no apartheid in Israel. What are you talking about? Even South African ministers say that there's no apartheid in
Okay,
Israel.
can we
You don't
actually
even know what you're talking about.
Then why was Bibi or Netanyahu, why was he, the International Court of Justice, they convicted him? The ICJ?
What are you talking about?
Look it up.
Look up what?
Listen.
Shine.
I have one thing to say in response to all that's been just said, particularly by Fayaz. The people on this stage who are terrorist supporters, you all know, it's most of you. You have had your dicks blown off. You've had you're not
Terrorist!
Hello.
Well, let me finish the sentence first. You've had your
His name is Gabe, Brother Bears. It's not Gabe. I know this piece of shit.
Thank you.
You've had your dicks blown off in Lebanon. You've had your regime changed in Syria. You've lost your terrorist allies in Gaza. They've been decimated in the most surgical campaign ever by the indigenous people of the land of Israel. The Houthis have been destroyed. I'm just going to finish. The Ring of Fire is annihilated, and now the Iranian nuclear threat.
Ring of Fire, terrorist!
You guys, if I may just land, you guys talk all you want about Ashkenazim and about the indigenous. You guys, oh my God.
Yeah, land that shit, motherfucker.
You guys, again, I will finish. You guys can talk all you want about Ashkenazi and apartheid and all the things that lies you say about Israel, but watch your terrorist friends suffer when you fuck with the Jews. Is what you get, baby.
I got a question. 1 second, guys. Please, no sound effects. Gabe, I got a question. Are you okay with Netanyahu giving weapons to ISIS? That's a yes or no question. Are you okay with that?
The current situation in the Middle East speaks for itself. Post October 7th.
I'm asking you. Are you okay recently, right now?
My statement speaks for itself, Amir.
I said yes or no. Are you okay with Netanyahu giving weapons to ISIS? Can you just give us the answer, please? Can you please give us the answer? I'm asking you. I'll provide you data as well from Times of Israel. Are you okay with Netanyahu giving weapons to ISIS?
Again, October 7th.
No, I'm not talking about October 7th. I'm talking about right now. Hold on, everybody, please, everybody stay muted. Everybody stay muted. Right? Hold on, everybody, please. My question to you is a direct question. Yes or no? Are you okay with Netanyahu giving weapons to ISIS?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Pika, stay muted.
You will not end it.
Gabe, this question is only for you, and please, it's only addressed to you. My question again, are you okay with Netanyahu giving weapons to ISIS?
My answer is you started this war and we will finish it.
No, I'm not talking about the war. I'm talking about, are you okay with, hold on, are you okay with, Gabe, are you okay with Netanyahu giving weapons to ISIS? ISIS is stealing, hold on, I'm not done. ISIS is stealing aid from Palestinians and selling it for the triple the price, and your Zionist entity, ISIS, Times of Israel says it. One of your ministers came out, whistleblower. Yeah, he actually told everybody. Are you okay with Netanyahu? But you're not going to answer my question. It's okay.
The answer to my question the answer to your question is happening across the Middle East right now.
I'm not talking about Middle East. I'm talking about Netanyahu giving weapons to ISIS. Netanyahu.
I didn't think this week, I didn't think anything could.
First, he funded Hamas $15 million, and now he's giving weapons to ISIS. That's a good one. That's a good one, right? He's funding the
He's hiding in his holding.
As a proud Zionist, I never thought there could be a more proud day than the day you had your dick blown off last
I work for IRPC tonight. Hey, shut the fuck up.
Again, as a Zionist, I never imagined there could be a prouder day than the day you had your dick blown off last.
Hey, tonight we're going to give you the real listen tonight. 1,800 missiles are ready for tonight. I want to see those fucking rats. Because you kill your children in Gaza and we kill your fucking children and we have no joke, man.
Quack, quack, quack.
Easy and easy.
We're losing the war. You started on October 7th.
We're losing.
We're losing. I have a point to make.
2 years. It's almost 2 years. We ain't done shit.
And the Middle East has been reshaped in that 2 years.
Yeah, it's been reshaped. It's true, it has been reshaped. Now Saudi and Qatar are back in Iran. We would never have seen that 2 years ago. Right? Saudi, Qatar, UAE.
Please stop interrupting. Brother Faz was speaking. Come on, man. Stop coming off the mic.
Gabe, first of all, stop using, derogatory terms for those whom you disagree with, okay? And you kept saying terrorist. The only terrorist in the world is Israel, okay? And IDF are the only terrorist organization in the world, okay? And ISIS, it's not just ISIS helping. Avigdor Lieberman, one of your Knesset members, a senior politician who has served with Ariel Sharon, he made this claim that Netanyahu is funding and arming ISIS in Gaza to steal the aid and to create hurdles in the distribution of aid. Nobody on this app is saying this. We are saying that. Like Ahmed said, it appeared in Israeli media, Avigdor Lieberman gave this interview. Okay, and he also gave this interview to Channel 12 in Israel in Hebrew. I'm sure you, as a good Jew, would know Hebrew, so please go and listen to that and come back and tell us if it is correct or what I'm saying is right or wrong. Then the second point is it's ISIS, which is a terrorist organization according to me, has been funded and armed by Israel on several occasions. The Nusra Front, which is a part of the ISIS in Syria, has been funded and armed by Israel. The ISIS DRC in Congo has also been funded and armed by Israel. Then there are so many other groups of ISIS, in so many different places in the Middle East that have been armed and funded by Israel. Not only that, Israel also gives medical assistance and medical treatment to Al-Qaeda fighters. When they get injured, they are transported, they are taken to Israel for treatment. No other country gives them shelter or gives them treatment. Only Israel does that. Okay? Yes, you said terrorists.
Israel treating Hamas terrorists as well. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
So you say that, okay, so you agree that ISIS and Al-Qaeda terrorists were treated by Israel. Are we in agreement here?
Israel has treated Hamas leaders and their children. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, why are you complaining that Israel? Why are you complaining that Israel treated someone in hospital who needed treatment? They're a human.
Oh my God! Only the Palestinian children in Gaza are not human. So the terrorists who kill human beings are human. Okay, I get your viewpoint.
If they funded and, I mean, there's 5 points in relate to Yahya Sinwar, right? First, they kept him. They did brain tumor surgery on him. Then they let him out. $15 million were paid every month. And then prior to 7th of October, according to Times of Israel, the Shin Bet chief gave warnings to Netanyahu that we should take him out because he's a threat. And what does Netanyahu do? He said, nope. In spite of getting, there was 2 threats that he got, 2 warnings that he got from Shin Bet that we cannot fund these people $15 million every month. So, when you look at all these 5, 6 things, it makes you want to question what Netanyahu
Did you want Netanyahu to have him killed like the Shin Bet advised? I didn't understand your question.
Shin Bet chief gave warnings to Netanyahu that we should take him out. And literally the title of that that's what I just said.
Are you saying that they should have killed him?
The Israelis
that's what Yahya said. Yaakov, that's what I'm saying. What am I saying?
Question.
I'm going based on the Times of Israel article.
These people don't have any ethics. They don't understand. You don't kill people who are helpless, blind in a hospital.
You don't kill people, children. You allow terrorists to inform on the streets of Gaza. Okay, good.
Israel has never targeted
Literally,
once.
Literally, the Times of Israel article says, as Shin Bet chief gave warnings to Netanyahu that we should take out Sinwar. What does Netanyahu say? No, don't take him out. He's a terrorist.
We don't just kill people.
No, it's not. So it makes you want to question, when you look at 5 things, it makes you want to question that Netanyahu was behind it all along.
Well, hold on a second. Let me just ask you this question. Had we killed him at that point, right? Had we killed him at that point, how do you think everybody would have reacted?
Who would have reacted? Can you tell us who?
You!
$15 million. Who gave $15 million after he got out of jail?
Whether he got $15 million.
Do you know how much money, according to Ehud Barak's testimony, was it? $1.4 billion.
Why?
You know what $1.4 billion is?
What do you think? Do you think we saved his life by operating on his brain?
You did it on purpose to keep the device, but the West Bank.
Hold on, let me finish my statement. Do you think we operated on his brain to save his life so he can come back and kill 1,200 of our people? Do you think that's why
you didn't know he was you didn't know he was gonna do that. You fucking dumb fuck. You didn't know he was gonna do that, you idiot.
Of course we didn't know.
Yeah, of course you didn't know he was gonna do that. You thought he was gonna work for you, but he didn't. You thought he was gonna work for you guys, but he didn't.
But he proved himself otherwise.
Yes, stop with your smart ass
And
questions.
unfortunately, everybody that we just
Fucking idiots. Yeah, and unfortunately you guys attacked Elon, and now you have to deal with the consequences.
Well, unfortunately, that didn't take his.
Unfortunately, you attacked Elon, and you have to deal with the consequences. Now you can go cry and bitch about it somewhere else.